Boy, Cheryl, I don't know who you just be lying about, son. I don't know who these women who use lie be lying.
No,
I know.
I don't.
I know.
It appears that way, but it's not.
But you know we can hear that, right? We're not gonna hear ourselves, right? We can hear that. When we start talking, we can hear us, right? Okay, just making sure, because that'll be very distracting. Boy, look young, eh?
I need never
Mother
like that
sick.
again.
So, welcome to Let's Talk, and we are live.
Yes.
We missed the cue again. I mean, 2024 just catching us off guard, or catching me off guard. Welcome to Let's Talk, guys. We're glad to have you here with us. And here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about topics and issues that matter to you.
Yes.
And we try to come up with workable, practical solutions so we have more action and less talk.
Yes.
So I am your host, Jason, and we have, her name has changed so much. It was just Cheryl and it was awesome Cheryl. So what is it tonight?
It's going to be Cheryl tonight.
Cheryl tonight.
Yes.
So, and my
Not
co-host
without the
Cheryl tonight.
You're funny.
So,
Okay.
so yeah. So our topic tonight is communicating. Who communicates better, men or women? And
Oh, that's the
just to show you how communication is get mixed up, right? When Cheryl and I were talking about the topic, she said she assumed we were going on to talk about something else because I said something in the voicemail, and I gave her two choices, form and latter. She didn't choose one, so I chose, and she said, I thought we were going with the latter. I said, how could you think that? Oh, because I agree. I said, no, where did you say which one you chose? Well, because you said the last one last, I thought we were going. See? Communicating. So that draws me right into that. Cheryl, who communicates better? Who do you think? Well, we know who you think communicate better, but give us your views on this.
Well, I thought we were talking about effective communication, not really who communicates better.
Mm-hmm.
As per our conversation, that clearly was not effective because we both left the conversation thinking two different things. And so that's why I think listening is very important as it relates to effective communication. Number one, you must listen, and listen with the intent to understand and not to oppose or to reply. But I think too, Jason, you caught me off guard because I was at work and it was extremely busy. So, and I was actually fascinated with the fact that Jason actually came up with a topic. So I really just wanted to be in agreement and support him fully.
Wow.
And so I readily agreed, but I didn't take the time to listen intently and maybe try to grasp everything that you were saying so that I could be more clear or be clearer with my agreement. So you were able to understand what I was agreeing with. Thus, we are here today.
Mm-hmm. So she's proving a point.
Yes, I am
Nonetheless,
not.
who is better at communicating?
I was just proving the point that it's okay to say you're wrong when you are. I think that's the point I'm proving
Well,
here. That,
we
that
keeping score
I'm more than
tonight.
willing to
We keep a
accept
score tonight. Man won.
when you're in error, and so yes.
Yeah.
So, but if effective communication or communicating is important to both genders. I don't know who. I don't think you can say that one person is better at communicating, but there are some things that some genders are, one gender may be better at communicating than the other, whether it's emotional things or depending on what it is. We're better in certain instances, in certain situations, but I wouldn't say generally you have one gender better than the other. But what I would say, though, is that communication is important for relationships. And we all have to relate. We have relationships on the job. We have relationships at home. We have relationships with our siblings, with our parents. And so communication must take place in all of our relationships.
Most definitely, Cheryl.
And poor communication destroys
Cheryl.
relationships.
Communication is key.
Yes.
Most definitely. And,
Yes.
and our father, he understood that. That's why, you remember at the Tower of Babel?
Yes.
He confused their tongues so they could not communicate.
Yes.
Because he said if these people working together like this, imagine what they could achieve.
Yes.
So you had to confuse their tongues so they could not communicate. So
Yes.
communication, our Father knows the importance of communication.
Yes.
So communication, I agree with you. Communication is key. It's important for everything.
Yes.
We can't
It
move
makes or
forward if we
break
cannot communicate.
anything. Absolutely.
But
Yes.
that's all well and good. But you being nice and I asked, there was a emphatic yes that females communicate better.
Who said that?
I'm not calling anybody name. I
You
hope the
did a
person can call
survey.
in. I hope the person call in
Okay.
and say yes, because women on the whole believe that they communicate better. One of our reasons were like,
See, females talk more.
but
Just
is that
because you talk
communicating?
more doesn't mean that you're better at communicating.
And that's what
because
she
a lot
said.
of people could say a lot and
And
say
don't
nothing.
mean nothing. Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's why men just sit back and just say, okay,
Right.
just say nothing.
But depending on and see, communication is important because when you are talking, it depends on the relationship you have with the person and the person you're talking to, and that kinds of steer how you communicate. So I think the recipient of communication is always the best person to determine if the person is communicating properly or not, or if the communication is effective. Because if I cannot understand you, then the communication is not effective no matter what you have said, no matter how well I know you, no matter how well you know me, no matter how good our relationship is. And it doesn't matter how long you would have talked for. If I don't understand, if I don't have a clear understanding of what you would have said, then it's not effective.
That's right. Communicating is listening and sharing information.
Right.
So if only one side giving off the information and the other isn't receiving it, I might as well be speaking a different language.
Absolutely.
So, but
The thing though is maybe why communication becomes, as it relates to gender, is because we go back to saying women, we are emotional beings. And so our communication is going to be laced with emotions all
definitely.
the time. It's going to be laced with emotions and even though, we take responsibility for that, we should be emotionally aware when we are talking, how we're saying it, what we're saying, and try to communicate clearly without the emotions. But it's hard for us.
So the lady who said it today, like she was quite clear. She was like, almost like offended, like, why would I even ask this question? Of course, it's women who communicate.
Well.
But I was like, really? Do you think so? Yes. Say for years, Jason, women have been communicating, telling men how they feel and what we want y'all to do and how trying to get y'all to understand us and all that stuff. I say,
Here's the point, though.
See?
Women have always
Go ahead.
women have always been the talker in the relationship. Women have always been the talker.
Right.
And even though I would have said that just because you're talking doesn't mean you're communicating, because a lot of times, men just let us talk. And but women have always been expressive and have always been willing and open to express how they feel, what they want. Women have always been the gender to do that.
And that might be true, but is expressing communicating? Because see, we get right
could
back
be, though.
again. It could be,
It
but
could
then
be.
it might not be, because like what I heard from her, what that lady said was, we trying to get y'all to understand us.
Mm-hmm.
I hear nothing. Oh, we're trying to talk so we could understand you, to get your point of view. It was just, we want y'all to understand us, where we're coming from, and to get out, to make sure that y'all could, our emotions and all that. It was like me, we. I say, okay, see?
But
Herein lies the issue. She's trying to relay her side.
Right.
But now, at no point did I hear in the conversation, now maybe if the conversation went on a little longer, she may have said
Right.
it, but it was just focused on me-centric. Communication is sharing.
It is, but
You
it starts with someone opening their mouth, and usually that's the woman, and maybe that's why women we can take a point for that. However, I may lose my woman card for saying this part though. We're not good listeners.
Right.
We may not be very good listeners. So while we are doing a lot of talking, we are not good listeners, and sometimes we make the mistake of listening with an intent or with a bias, just to counter instead of listening to understand.
You know how many men, there's a lot of women say, oh, the man, he just doesn't talk, and he doesn't open up, and he doesn't say how he's feeling. 9 times out of 10, men withhold how they're feeling because the minute we start saying how we feel, the woman doesn't take it as a critique. She takes it as an attack. He's telling me what I doing wrong. The man can't. And he has to now console her. He has to now go back on the offense and, no, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, you always saying this about me. So you're trying to say,
Yes.
I'm not a good enough this and I'm not doing that.
I agree.
The man is just telling you. See, when you're all saying how we feel, they all feel to us. We don't say, well, also, what you trying to say? You trying to say I ain't a good man? We don't do it. We sit and we listen and we don't say
Maybe.
anything. And we don't say anything. And you all perceive that as not listening. We just sit back because we biding
but
our
just
words in
because-
time to be safe.
Well,
because
just
anything.
and that's the thing, and that's not effective communication either, because you must share. And just because you're not saying anything doesn't mean that you're listening.
We're trying to avoid
To keep the
arguments, right? Which leaves us not being fulfilled because you get to say how you feel and express and get it off your chest. Oh, I feel so good, I can release. That time he just had to bottle it up because if he starts to say how he feels, now you're attacking us. So he'd be like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
In that scenario, both persons are poor communicators.
Yeah,
Both are
but
poor, and we're all guilty of that, both
Yes.
males and females. Because yes, the males need to talk more,
Mm-hmm.
females need to listen more.
and listen without feeling attacked. I mean, not
Right.
just listen. Listen to hear exactly
Right.
what is he trying to say? And I don't know, I should have taken a poll on this. How many times we say something and it's like, you interpret what we said rather than just taking what was said. Because men are to the
That's-
point, redirect. Most of us are, redirect. If I say, boy, I'm hungry,
Right.
and you just fed me. Boy, I hungry. Also, the food what I give you wasn't no good. Boy, no,
normal,
I'm still
though.
hungry.
That is normal.
So you interpret
Of
rather than
course,
just going
yes.
by. I mean, that was a poor example I used.
Yeah, but I understand
you get where
that
I'm coming
example.
from.
I definitely do, but that is normal for someone to do, because when someone could say something in a room of 20 persons and everybody will have a different interpretation of what was said, because we see things and we hear things through our experiences. We all have a different filter as to how we receive information, and it's the same thing. You could say something to people of different culture, and they will have a different interpretation based on culture. So that is a normal thing. But when you have a relationship with people, with someone, and they know you, then they have an added bias or an added filter that applies to that conversation. So you saying that to a significant other and someone else in the room will get two different interpretations, because that person knows you intimately and will know something else that the other person doesn't know, and will know, okay, this is what he means by that because I know him. But it's important to understand that even the person who's talking should take that into consideration, that I am saying this. So you, the talker, have a responsibility that, okay, this may be interpreted in a certain way. So let me say this in a manner in which I want it to be received.
Wait a minute now,
So
Cheryl.
you cannot blame the recipient of your words.
I can,
you have
because
to take responsibility
if
for what you say, because sometimes
For,
it's not-
I agree. I take responsibility for
have
what
to-
I say because
and
words
how
have
it's
meaning.
said.
Well, I'm not talking about the tone now. I'm
Right.
talking about
We'll talk
if
about that
I
later,
say,
but-
hey, I am not angry, or hey, that really hurt me. That means I am angry. If I say, hey, that upset me, or no, I'm not upset. I might be disappointed, but I'm not angry.
Right.
Oh, you mad? No, you mad. See,
Yes.
because
Okay.
you catch where I'm coming from,
If
right?
you- if
so
you
if I
say-
say,
You're not angry.
right,
Then the recipient should take it that you're not angry. However, you can say you're not angry and your body language is saying something else. And
correct,
the person who
but
is
why?
looking can see
but
that, okay,
you know me,
he's saying that, but he's not
me,
angry.
And guess what? I might get in problem for this. I taking you at your word,
Right.
so you could be
True. And
angry up to hell, and I'm
Right.
trying to say, hey, what's wrong? And you be like, ain't nothing.
That ain't
Because y'all like to do that.
What?
Females like to do that.
Yes. We do.
Ain't nothing. Hey, what's wrong? Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Okay, ain't nothing. So I go on. You mean you go on and I see who is better at communicating? See, y'all want us to
well, not
I gotta say
everyone-
y'all
not
because
every
I had
female
numerous
does that.
relationships, and I shouldn't say numerous.
And
I've had a
though,
few
Jason-
relationships, and I've encountered this.
With
I-
all persons.
with the females, the different females. Now, you may say I may be choosing a certain type, but I've had this experience with women enough to know that, okay, y'all don't really say what y'all mean. Y'all want us to read the body language. Y'all want us to
Sometimes,
read behind
yes.
that. Nah, so that's what I'm getting to now. If you say effective communication and who communicates better,
I
why
understand that.
doesn't your words line up with what y'all really want? Stick a pin in that,
Yes.
and we'll come right back after this commercial break.
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown at the Genesis Street Girl.
You ain't scared of Joneses, eh?
And we're back. So before I stuck Cheryl with a question, right? But I heard the chat is really on fire, Mr. Producer. So let's hear what's going on in the chat.
Yeah, Jason, boy, they
They crucifying me over there.
I wouldn't say that. You have good representation, but they are all about, and I think the majority here. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna read the comments. One lady, one gentleman says women being better at communication is just a push narrative because they express themselves more and talk all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
But that doesn't mean they are better communicators.
Correct.
Another commentator says it's not effective communicate. It's not effective communicate if the other party isn't responding in a meaningful way. I don't know what that means. I don't think one communicates better than the other. The issue is that women speak and men comprehend something else and vice versa. Both genders are designed differently. Men talk more in the beginning stages though. That's what they say. Yes, all men do that. I know why. Excuses, Jason. Miss me with all of that. Too much excuses, Jason. I don't know. When a man expresses himself in the way that a female requires him to, they call him feminine or complainer. Jason, this is true because me and that same person you spoke with, that's what they end up
Yes.
saying, not realizing that's what they are saying.
Yes.
When a man expresses himself or goes a little bit too far, you only can express yourself a little bit.
Right.
If you go a little bit too far, now
yeah.
they got this new word saying sassy.
Yes. Yes.
You're a little bit too soft.
Yes. Trying to
You're always
manipulate.
crying. They always emasculate the man for expressing how he feels. But they want you to communicate.
Oh, this is your.
So we will get back. Seems like Cheryl has.
Our third hostess.
So I'm sorry, Cheryl will get back, and we will continue the show.
Cheryl said we got a third
Go
host.
ahead.
Wait, was that all the comments?
That was all the comments?
Oh.
The comment is the chat finished? That's it? Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Go ahead,
very
Sharon.
interesting. Very interesting. And I agreed with all of the comments.
Do?
Male and female, yeah, I
Wow.
do agree with them that yes, women do we do talk a lot, and I would have said that earlier. We
Yeah,
do
you
talk
did.
a lot. We express ourselves a lot, and we think that we're effective just because we talk a lot. But just because you're expressive doesn't mean that, And like we would have said before, if the recipient is not receiving it clearly and how you mean it, then the communication is not effective. And both genders have to work on that. Both genders have to
Correct.
work on that.
I got a
Now,
text.
I
Sorry, let me just stick this in here before we forget.
okay, we have another comment.
One thing, Jason, sorry about the interruption, but the commenter say, Come on now, Jason. You know what women mean when they say nothing.
See?
Exactly.
See? I must
Exactly.
interpret that
And there's
now.
yes, because
And leave
there's
it up to interpretation
because
now,
there's
right?
a certain thing called nonverbal communication. And I wouldn't even talk about nonverbal communication because what you mentioned earlier, you're talking about someone that you have a very close relationship
Mm-hmm.
with. And there's certain guidelines and there's certain cues when you have a personal relationship with someone that they can say something, they can not say anything, and you know exactly what they mean.
Correct.
So I don't think that's a good example that we can,
No,
we
Cheryl.
can say that's for everyone.
No, Cheryl.
Everyone, based on your personal relationships, you have some specific ways that you communicate. My daughter and I have specific ways that we communicate. My very close friends and I have specific ways that we communicate. Your significant other, you have specific ways that you communicate with them. So a woman can say, everything cool, I'm good. And you know that she's not good. And based on that, and that is effective because that is something intimate between both of you.
Hey, somebody just text me just now say, Jason, you know what I mean when I say nothing. You always know what I mean. when I
Exactly.
say
So I don't know why Jason is on here fronting,
No.
acting like he's
But the thing is this. Wait, hold on. Before I go on, I got a text saying, men love to say that they're not angry, but yet they yelling and their body language says they are.
Exactly.
Well, now back to when this go with nothing. Now, if I ask a question and I say, and you say nothing, and it's obvious there's something. Hey, what wrong? You say nothing? Okay then it's nothing. I am going to make you put your big girl pants and I'm going to treat you as nothing happened.
Really.
Yeah, because I want to know. I'm asking, I want to know, and if there's something wrong, let's fix it. Now, if you tell me nothing, then that means there ain't nothing wrong. Okay, you go deal with it yourself. Put that attitude to the side. And if I do the same thing, do it to me. Because sometimes I might say
So you
nothing.
don't-
Wait. I can say it's nothing. But the
Right.
reason why I say nothing because I don't want to communicate. Not that I want you to figure out what's wrong and then try to fix it. If I say nothing, that means I'm dealing with that myself.
Okay.
I don't want row. I don't want argue. I don't want fight.
Right.
So I say nothing, everything cool. I'm mad, everything cool. That means I can fix that myself.
So is this how most men deal with communication in terms of they always say how they feel, they always say what it is, and they're specific to that?
Majority of times, because when men speak, we rarely get to speak because we feel that like I mentioned before, if we start to share how we feel, oh, now I attacking you. Argument again. We can't let y'all know how we feel without y'all feeling attacked.
Right. That is
So,
that is true.
so because y'all stay in y'all emotions. Now we speaking logically, right? Okay, I don't like the way she did this, so I'm going to tell her I don't like the way she did this. Oh, that can balloon into all kind of. No. I'm only speaking about this thing here. Oh, you say this. No, I say I don't like the way you did this. I didn't say everything else, including with that.
Right.
Right? But it's sometimes perceived that if we say something about you have on, oh, I don't like the way that look on you. Oh, this make me look fatty. Oh, Jesus, that's a trap. Fellas, don't answer that. Get Raoul for ignoring, then rather than answering that question. Because y'all can handle it. You can ask me, you could tell me, oh, Jason, you looking fat. I wouldn't dare tell my wife she looking fat. She could tell me I look fat. I would be like, that's
Yeah.
cool. I rub that off. You know, effective communication.
Yes.
You know, I could take
But
it.
it's hard for females to listen to something in a vacuum or to isolate emotions. It's hard for it, and it's not just in the relationship. We do it in the workplace too. We pretty much do it everywhere. When we hear something, we internalize how it is from a personal perspective. And so we put ourselves into it. But what I'm saying though is the person communicating must be cognizant that the recipient is going to do that. So you can alter how you communicate something for the hearer because we do it. When we are talking to children, we choose our words, being mindful of who we're talking to. So when you're talking to other people, you can alter how you speak based on the emotions that you think will be attached to how the person
I
receives it.
love that
And that's
analogy you
important.
made.
And that's important because Anyway, we'll get back to how it's important because you know why it's important, Jason?
Right.
Because you care about the recipient understanding what you are saying in the way that you want them to understand it. And I think a lot of times when we're communicating, we care about ourselves more.
Yeah.
We care about saying what it is that we have to say.
Yes.
And we just want to get it out. And we
And
don't
that ain't
care
communicating.
if you hear it, how you hear it, or if you respond positively or negative to it. We're just going to get it out. And that
So-
is very poor communication.
That ain't
Now,
communication. That's me telling you.
Yes.
That's what it is. That ain't
However-
communicating.
However, but it's the same thing though. If we're not thinking about the person hearing us, then what's the point of even opening your mouth at all? Just keep your mouth closed then.
No, because we won't get it off our chest. And bully situation. That's a bully situation. And most often than not, that's when people say they are communicating. Oh, I tell you how I was feeling. In
Yes,
the
but-
midst of heated,
yes.
I'm guilty of this and I'm
Right.
expressing myself. Choosing the wrong time to share what you was feeling.
Right.
So that's part of poor communicating, waiting on the inopportune moment to speak how you really feel. Well, I had a text here just now. Where did it go? They say, as a husband, Jason, you're supposed to know if your wife says something wrong.
Exactly. I didn't want to come out and say that, but thank you.
Saying you're supposed
Thank
to
you.
know.
And you know what, Jason?
You should find out, 'cause you
Jason
probably know something.
So
She-
he's
she-
not fooling anyone.
She just don't know how to tell you.
Right.
Because she probably, well, what's the use of me even asking? If she don't know how to tell me, wait a minute.
Some things you don't have to ask, you know. And that goes back to, like I said, there are different kinds of communication based on the relationship that you have with the person. There are some things you know without asking because there should be a lot of nonverbal communication happening
Sometimes.
based on the relationship.
Yes, the commenter said, tell Cheryl, yes, that's how men deal with it. Remember if you asked the question if that's how men deal with the communication? And then I also said, I like that analogy you said, oh, we tailor our communication for kids.
If we're talking to kids, you tailor your emotions, you tailor everything, and that's
For
how
the
you
kids.
ought to do. And yes, and you tailor
So-
your
so-
communication for your boss, and you tailor your communication for
No,
your boys.
no, my boss
And
is a
so
man.
you just
My
don't-
boss is a man, so I can speak directly to him and I say, this,
My
I don't
point
like
is
this, and I don't. So Cheryl, see,
No.
and guess what? On your job, you ain't gonna tell your conversation for your boss because guess what you can do? As a woman, you can speak logically and you ain't gonna bring your emotions and express your
Right,
boss,
okay.
whether she's a woman or man, to figure out. You're not gonna expect him or her to say, okay, Cheryl said this, but this is what she means.
Right.
No, sir. On your job,
I-
you can speak logically and directly.
Yes,
So
I will.
why
However-
in your relationship you don't take that same approach?
I can do that, but because I have a relationship,
Oh, just let
there
it fly.
will be
Let's make it
some
harder.
emotions. No, not let's make it harder, but there's an emotional attachment here, so things will be different. The words I choose will be different, and there's emotions involved. So all
Yes.
of that, the
Te-
dynamics
yeah.
are different.
Yeah, so-
it doesn't mean then that I am going to be totally illogical or
But Cheryl, do you feel it's more effective speaking that way with your boss as opposed to you using the same tactics in your relationship? Which one you feel is more effective
no,
with your boss?
I think communication, I think you should be clear that the rules of communication is the same regardless of who you're talking to.
Okay, so therefore,
You should be clear and conscious and concise and coherent
and that's how
courteous
men-
in what you say.
for the majority, that's how for the majority of men think. The same way how we operate in the business field and communicating, that's how we communicate with just about everybody, direct. Because it only makes sense. We shouldn't leave anything up for interpretation. We shouldn't leave anything for the feelings to get inside there. I mean, you will have feelings, but you want to be clear with your words. We don't want to leave anything to be misconstrued. So you don't do
think
it on your
women- I
job.
think women
You don't do
are-
it on your job.
I
So
think
why
women
would
are
you do
pretty
it?
clear with their words. It might be laced with emotions, but I think they're clear with their words. I think one I said about women
So-
is that we don't listen.
So on your
well.
job, if you're feeling a certain way on your job and the boss asks you, Cheryl, you're a little off. If it's pertaining to the job, you more than likely, I hope you would let him know. Hey, Cheryl, you're off. You're off for me. What's up? I'm hoping you would say, boss, I don't like the way so-and-so presented these files to me, or I don't like the way this curriculum is going, blah, blah, blah. Rather than saying nothing and waiting for your
There
boss
are
to figure it
times-
out.
No, there are times I would say everything is okay when they're not, because I'm not interested in
fixing it at that moment.
In fixing it, or maybe if it's something that I prefer to fix on my own.
Right, but you wouldn't be
Or-
leaving it for the boss to figure out
No,
or keep coming
no,
back to you.
absolutely not, no.
So why would you
Absolutely
now
not.
apply that to your relationship and say, okay, he should know. Figure it out.
Because in that instance, he should know. And I hope I was clear, concise, and coherent enough for
You were.
Jason.
You were.
We have to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with more Let's Talk.
Carlo, we can see you. Carlo?
He wants to be seen. Leave him. He can be the next host right here. Something else. Welcome back to Let's Talk.
Welcome back.
And so we have some messages on our message board for you, so we're going to get right back to it. Mr. Producer, let's hear those messages.
Okay. Men are required to have telepathic abilities.
Yes.
And a lady responded, yes.
Yes, because God gave it to them.
And they should, Black Queens.
I'm going to need you to stop now, okay?
Okay, well, that's poor communication on your behalf. Them jokers don't ever say how they feel until rowdy. She's implying to
Men.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can say you don't feel like talking about it right now. That's why the conversation should be dismissed. Jason, men are supposed to tell women how they feel so they would know regardless of being emasculated. Ooh. But men, on the other hand, are requested to have telepathic abilities to read women's mind. The lady responded to that, only occasionally. Women usually say exactly what's on their mind. In essence, men are supposed to tell women how they feel so they would know regardless of being emasculated. But men, on the other hand, are required to have telepathic powers to read their mind, to read women's minds.
Yes. That's right.
Women are more dominant talkers.
Yes.
And they are more effective at controlling the narrative of a conversation, while most men fall back and keep the peace.
Yes.
That's an interesting word, keep the peace. Men are more passive-aggressive and display action while keeping the peace in regards to communication. No one talks to their bosses in the same way they talk to their partners, Jason. Why? But isn't that narcissistic? It gives off a superior versus inferior complex. It would say that I just think we women expect our partners to know us better.
Yes, absolutely.
How? If y'all...
It goes both ways, but thank you so much for those comments.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your responses to Jason. I'm in agreement with all the responses to Jason. But yes, we expect our spouses to know, and it's not just you expect your spouse to know you. Males expect their spouses to know them, know what they like to eat, know what they like. You expect your spouses, and it's based on that knowledge that communication is affected, right?
Yeah.
So the nonverbal communication and the nothing when a woman says that, She expects her husband to know what nothing means.
She expects, there again, expects. And when he doesn't
Yes.
catch the hint, she gets
Upset,
upset.
yeah.
Rather than just saying, using your words, just your big girl words. Hey, I noticed you ain't pick up on the hints, you big dunce. This is what I wanted. Oh, honey, sorry, I totally missed that.
Well,
Or
I'm
he might
sure-
say, well, you should have said it in the first place.
No, that expectation is built
See?
upon years and years and
Yes,
years of
but obviously he
expressing
ain't get
and
it.
being together.
Obviously, he ain't get it,
But
so
he-
stop
you
upsetting
know,
yourself
I
and just
think-
say it.
No, what I think what needs to happen though, men should work a little harder
Oh,
on
my
understanding. Yes, men should work a little harder on understanding.
And women shouldn't work harder,
how
being
they
more
feel.
better
And
communicated.
Women are excellent communicators.
Oh,
Women
there it was.
can-
There it is. That's
women-
the answer I was looking for all night.
No, women. Did I say that? I didn't say this before.
No.
Oh, I'm saying it. What camera should I look into?
Look right
Women
into this
are
camera right here.
excellent- Women
Give
are
her a
excellent
close-up camera.
communicators. My thing though
Give
is
her a close up and let us say it.
no close up, please. Women are excellent communicators. The thing is, like I said before, in the moment, if you know that your significant other doesn't understand or is not there with you in that moment, doesn't understand what it is that you're feeling or saying, then it is unfair not to express it.
Correct.
It's
Thank you.
unfair to expect him to know and to read your
Uh-huh.
mind at all times.
Yes.
Right?
Say at all times, but he got to read it sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes yes, because we both have to do it because of the relationship that you have.
Right. So a commenter says, this is a female, I don't agree with what they are saying about men are supposed to know what a woman is thinking and feeling.
Not all the time,
I think if someone is wrong, he should know me well enough to know something is bothering me.
Yes.
Yeah, but if he, like I say,
Yes.
he might pick up on a little hint and come out. Because see, the majority of times when women say nothing is because that person is making it, the person who's asking the question is probably making them mad.
Yes,
Right?
maybe. And maybe
So like me, if I ask my wife, what's wrong? And she says nothing, and clearly I know something is wrong, that's probably because it's me who got her
caused
upset,
it, right.
right? And
you may not
when
be,
she say, and I ask, okay, what's wrong? This is my attempt now to fix it because I want her to verbalize
right.
what is wrong,
So you
so I
can
can
fix
address
it.
it. But if she says nothing, okay, you don't want it fixed, so I'm going to treat it as
No.
nothing. Hence, we
Right.
got a big blow up again.
Okay.
So you ask me, if I say nothing's wrong,
Sometimes when
that
a
means
woman
that
says
really
nothing-
means
No.
I don't want to fix it.
No, it doesn't mean I don't want to fix it. It may mean that you're the problem and you cannot resolve it. It may mean I need some time before this can be resolved. It may mean a number of things. And like I said, knowing the person
Right.
will help you to understand better what nothing means for that individual.
right.
Or, and like I said, a woman has a responsibility to express herself too.
Right,
But
so-
sometimes when you care about someone, you are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they're happy. And sometimes it means, if it means prodding, if it means trying
In that
to
moment, I
figure
really
it
don't
out,
care.
Because you mad too.
Yeah, they
So
mad
when
too,
you-
because me asking and you ignoring me just make me mad too, so now two us mad. So,
If you care about the person, if you got to figure it out, then figure it out.
yeah, Cheryl, I like words. And words mean things to me. Words have meaning. That's why they created them, right? That's communicating.
Yes,
So let's
Jason,
communicate.
But things are
Let's
not always
communicate.
black and white. And
That's true, right?
because
But it's taking that route. You say, okay.
It's easy to
you're
do that at
saying,
work. It's
Why is it easy to do at work?
Because
Why is it easier?
You're not in love with anybody at work.
Ah, so
There's
now
no emotional involvement. I
Ah.
am saying there's a different level of stress. There's a different level of emotional awareness. There's a different level of a lot of things. So it's easy for you to communicate at work because sometimes your words are just words.
So-
but in your personal relationships, sometimes
Yes, I agree with you,
words
Cheryl.
aren't just words.
I agree with you, and I agree. Don't mind me saying this, right? Don't to say that I disagree, but the thing is this: we give people on the outside more grace than we give our loved ones.
This isn't
You
great
see that?
in this instance.
That is
But
because if we say it's easier to communicate with those at work because we don't love them and we could say nothing and brush it off, or we could just ignore whatever because
No,
we
that's
give them
not
more.
what I was saying
What
at
you
all.
saying? So why
That's
is
not
it
what I was
easier?
saying at
So
all.
why is it easier for you to communicate at work? and not easier for you to communicate at home? You said because you're not in love with the people at work.
Because there's
No
not
emotion-
the same level of emotional
emotions.
attachment. There's not the
So
same
it's
level of
easier
emotional
to talk with
involvement.
them.
So if you have to just say something, it sometimes it could be something hard that you're communicating with the person that you have a relationship with. And it doesn't end at the end of that communication. You have to live with that person. So there might be ramifications as a result of even that communication. It's not just
For men
black
mostly.
and white. But pardon?
For men mostly, because
No.
when we start sharing how we
Boy.
feel, go ahead.
But I don't have to explain this to you, Jason. You know there's a different
Listen,
level of
our
communication
viewers
at
out there
work.
want to hear this,
At
Cheryl,
work.
these nuggets, these advice. They want to know.
Anyway.
They want to know.
Anyway, so
Words of the
it's going
Queen.
to be different. It's going to be different how we communicate
But-
at work. But effective communication is effective communication, regardless. Any effective communicator cares about the recipient of their words more than themselves in that moment.
Correct. So if I ask again, because I'm going to beat the guy again, if I ask, that means I care and I want to communicate, but you at that moment, in your feelings, you care not to communicate because I should know.
Or it could be that I'm so overwhelmed with emotion that I can't find the words to express how I'm feeling at the moment.
So at that moment, you're still not a good communicator.
At that moment, what you can do is you can step away from the situation and come back to me later.
But that's
to
what we
find
do.
out how it is
That's what we
is-
do.
what is
Most
going
men
on.
do. And then they say, oh, he don't even care enough. I tell him ain't nothing wrong, and he just go and walk off. You see?
I mean, you're reaching, Jason. I don't think you're reaching. I don't.
You just say was walk off.
Yes.
Let you get it together. But anyway, so and just another thing I was want to stick there. As a woman, as you said, women are effective communicators. They are excellent at
I
communicating.
never said that. I said women. Well, okay, I may have said that. I'm saying women are frequent communicators.
Now you're changing it up, but it's good. It's
We're
good.
good communicators
Yes.
too. But what I said, we talk more, but we just don't listen as much. But you're trying to get the time up. Ask your question, Jason.
No, see,
Clearly you're
just let
trying to get.
I'm
you're
trying not,
to-
you know.
Yes,
You
go
are an
ahead.
effective communicator, so I'm letting you communicate.
I would like
But-
to think so. Yes.
But is a woman's yes always a yes? Is a no always a no?
I would say the same for everyone, but I don't think so. No. There are times our yeses aren't yeses and our nos aren't nos, but
And is that
but
effective communication? That's one of those moments
No.
we're supposed to know, right?
yes.
See? See? Okay,
Yes.
see?
But I would think in a lot of those moments, the guys like when our nos aren't nos. So let's not even go there. Get the call.
Welcome to Let's Talk All in Your Life. What you got to say about this conversation?
I'm having a ball just listening to y'all go back and forth. Happy New Year, Jason. Happy New Year, Cheryl.
Happy New Year,
Same
Happy
to
New
you.
Year.
Again. I'm just going to drop a point to y'all, go back and forth again more and more. I would say that both of the sexes have a challenge communicating. And I think the biggest challenge that, or the reason for that challenge is we don't listen to the other party. Well, one person saying, oh, ain't nothing wrong, and they expect you to read my mind. And that is on both sides. It's not just isolated to the male or the female, right? And then when the conversation begins to flow, we're not listening to understand and appreciate what our partner is saying. We are listening simply to respond and justify why we doing what we doing, or oh, you didn't do this, or whatever have you. So it's on both sides. So perhaps y'all want to drop a couple of nuggets in there, because this is, with all of my friends, most of them married 10 years, 15 years. You find that the longer the parties are together, the communication gets a little bit easier, and those moments of, well, he should know what I mean, or she should know, or they know what I mean by this particular look, this sigh, this whatever. Yes, that is true. So for those young people, those younger couples who are just getting into this marriage game or this relationship game on, some tidbits on how they could do that. Because Cheryl, I will say that you are a very good communicator. You say exactly what you what's on your mind, and I can appreciate that. As well as you, Jason, you are as well. So,
There you go.
just leaving the games and say what we feel, say what we mean, but say it in a way that respects the relationship, especially if it's one that you want to hold on to.
Amen.
I'll leave that for y'all to go back and forth on.
Thank you so much, caller. You always add such
Always.
rich content
We
to
haven't
our.
heard her for a while.
Yes,
Good
yes.
to have you back. You were on vacation.
Yes. Take
Left
one of
me
them
here
vacations, which you's be taking it.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
them millions of vacations. But yeah, she agreed with you, Cheryl.
Yes.
Woman power, girl power.
No, it's not. She agreed with common sense and the fact that it's logical, everything I would have said. And so correct in, I would have said that when we began, that we listen just to
answer, to
not
respond.
not to understand, but sometimes to respond, to counter. And let's just take that.
The line is
then.
hot tonight. Thank you so much for calling. Let's talk. You are live. What says he, caller?
Yeah, Jason, what's going on? Hey, Cheryl. Hey.
Hey.
Everybody.
Everyone's great.
Yeah, I just like to add a little something. I came on a bit late. Probably nobody might have said this. Maybe somebody else would have said it. But when it comes to communicating, and I don't know if it went as far as saying opening up, but in terms of communicating, a lot of times, for peace sake, they do a little less communicating and just leave some things as it is. But I'd also say this: a lot of things that a man might want to say, sometimes the woman might turn around and weaponize what he says and use it against him later on. So he might be inclined to not say certain things. I'll let you all ponder on that and elaborate on that.
Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate your call. Thanks.
Yes, I think Jason would have said that earlier.
Yeah, it is.
And if it's
It's a
done,
common thread.
Yeah,
It's a common theme,
I think,
common theme.
Yes, I think one or two. I would have heard men would have said that before on the show, because I think this communication thing, it may not have been the main topic, but it came up before. So this is something definitely that men are experiencing.
Yeah.
And so women, outside of not listening as intently to understand and to make sure to resolve the situation, we also need to not weaponize or throw back in the guy's face something that he would have shared with us. And you're saying now that this is one of the reasons why men don't communicate as often as they should. And I know a lot of them say they just want to keep the peace because
Right.
women, we come off as argumentative or combative or defensive. So it's something that we need to work on so that we get our
Police.
men to open up more, so we don't have to
Police.
complain about them not talking,
Yeah.
not communicating. And like the caller said, though, is as relationship grows and you know your person, your partner, then communication becomes easier because you learn and you understand each other. And sometimes a lot of your communication will be less words because you have an understanding.
Yeah, but until we get there, words, man, we have words. We learn how to speak as we go.
True,
Just use
yes,
the
I forgot
words,
Jason
man. Let's
loves
use the
words.
words.
Yes.
Words, they have meaning. They have power. Welcome to Let's Talk, caller. You are live.
Yeah, Jason, I'm calling right back.
Uh-huh.
There's a book called Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus.
Yes.
And I've never read it, but what I've seen from it highlights the differences between a man and a woman. And men are more logical. I don't know if anybody said this earlier, because I just got home from work and tried to tune in. Men are more logical. Women seem to be driven more off of emotion.
Used to be, yes.
If a man goes to buy a car, he's going to look at the engine size and the fuel economy. A woman is going to look at the color and the shape of the car. A man's going to look at how long this car is going to last before he has to buy another car. If a woman is going to look at, if she want to paint her house, she's going to just look at the color and the design and how that's going to line up with her furniture. The man is going to look at, okay, how long is this paint going to last? Let me get one paint with a little bit of mold mixture, anti-mold mixture in it. Let me see how long this is going to last before I have to paint this again. So there are differences between a man and a woman. So even with communicating, sometimes he just can't talk straight out and say what's on his mind or how he's feeling. He might he can't really express each and everything he wants to say all the time, although it should easily be like that, but in most instances it isn't like that. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah.
Your panel want to elaborate on that? Let me go and let you all talk on that.
Okay.
Thanks again, caller. Thanks again. I agree with him. I don't want to just put all the blame on the woman, saying, "Oh, men logical and we can speak straight out." Yeah, we do need to learn how to speak your language.
Right.
Being the leader, we should
Not
take the
just
lead.
that, but for the main fact
No,
that
take the lead. We have to take the lead
Right.
and make sure the communication is flowing. Communication. Make sure the environment, the atmosphere is right for proper communication.
right. So
So
that
I could agree with that. I could take that.
you
though.
are and the point is though the end goal is that you are enriching the relationship, and that's what the communication is supposed to do. It could solve problem, resolve issues, just make sure the relationship is enriched. But apart from being logical, men are also fixers. But sometimes women, we don't have something to be fixed. We just want to be heard and understood. But you're just listening so you can fix it
Yes.
because of your logical nature.
Yes.
And so it is important that we understand how the sexes receive information. So you could preface that by saying, okay, baby, I don't want you to fix anything right now. I just want you to hear me out. This is my experience, and this is what I want you to do. So we need to approach our communication with that understanding as well. Knowing
Most
that, okay,
definitely.
so you know, women, we're going to receive things a little emotionally. So you approach the
Right.
conversation with that in mind as well. And as women, we need to do the same.
Correct. But I still didn't hear you answer yet. I mean, that
What was
answer,
the-
not
what was the
answer.
question?
No, I didn't hear you address yet the yes meaning yes and the no meaning no.
I think
and you
I-
said
Yes.
you think we like that, but no.
It depends on what the
Situation, right?
situation is, and sometimes women, yes, we are misleading. Mm-hmm. Sometimes
So you-
we are, but this is I don't.
So you're
think
saying
this
you're not as effective at communicating as you think you are, because them same little things where we're supposed to read minds, that causes.
I'm saying
turmoil.
humans. I'm saying humans are not as effective.
So now as humans now.
communicators as
And now,
as,
of course,
as
as
they
women are
should be.
excellent.
Not male or female. I don't know
This
why
talk-
Jason
this
has
talk
to come
and
back to
switch up,
this
eh?
this gender thing.
Well, listen,
Oh,
you
boy.
said anything but any.
Okay.
I just repeating your
This is
words, man.
2024, Jason. Let's just move
Okay,
on.
let's
We're
move
all
on in
human beings,
2024.
and we want to communicate effectively
Yes,
so that
yes,
we
that's the
can be
goal.
understood.
That is the goal, to
and
to
solve
have
our
effective
issues
communication.
and maintain and sustain our relationships.
yes, most definitely.
We have another commercial break. We're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Right back.
I'm Flynn Doxson from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager, and he's going to tell us a little about what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got this at Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
Where you going, boy?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown with the Genesis Street Gear.
You ain't scared of Joneses, eh?
So welcome back, and I know if you're all paying attention, you all will see that we are one more person here. There's one person here. So, guys, I want to introduce to you Miss Karen Wildgoose, and she's from the show Cooking with Karen. Oh, cooking!
Yes.
I love to eat, so I can always welcome a cook. So, Karen, we want to invite you. Thank you for joining us here with
Yes.
Let's Talk, and we just want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and tell us about your show.
Well, my name is Karen Wildgoose, and I have a food trailer, which is named Karen's Kitchen. It's located on Queens Highway, on the side of GB Muffler. It's a little small food vendors, and it mostly serves Bahamian dishes, Bahamian cuisine.
Yeah, you know we like that.
Oh,
Bahamian
yeah.
food. Best,
Yes.
the best food in the world. Bahamian
Well, I don't know
food.
if Cheryl eat for me before, but I know
You
Jason
know, couple
many
times.
times.
All right, all right.
I'll be eating from you now. Definitely, especially if you brought any samples here tonight.
No.
But what are your hours? What are your hours?
Well, my hours are from 12 to 3.
Daily, 12
Yeah.
to 3.
And she
Lunch.
sell out quick.
Oh,
That
yeah?
should tell you something about the food. She sells out
Yes.
quick.
Well, I
Jason will
normally
find it now.
WhatsApp all my customers every morning, and they just put their order in. So times they reach the trailer, they food is ready,
That's
take
right.
up and
Okay.
ready for them.
Does it still come along with a complimentary drink? Sometimes it.
Yes,
I don't want to put you on the spot. I shouldn't say that. Then they don't
Sometimes.
get a drink, they can get mad.
Yes, indeed.
Nah, you didn't say that. Nah, every time when they come back, well,
I'll be
I
coming
asked,
for
I asked.
my
It doesn't.
retroactive complimentary drink. Yes.
So,
the famous iced tea.
yes,
Okay.
very good. So, just tell us a little bit about the show. What will be happening on the show?
Well, I'll be cooking Bahamian dishes, and I'll be doing it my way, with a little twist from
Okay.
back and our ancestors to
To now.
24. Yeah, it'll be a little twist.
Wow.
Okay.
So, I want to know if you can be cooking here in the studio.
No,
Because
she
I can.
won't.
Well,
You
no.
No. Wow. 'cause
I'll do my shows, and then he will.
And then it
Yeah.
will debut right after
Yeah.
ours, so it will
Yeah.
show every Tuesday at 7, right?
Yeah.
So,
But what we want to know, and what Jason wants to know, he see telepathic, we do that.
Yeah.
So he wants to know, what do you do with the food
Yeah.
when you cook it for the show?
yes.
Well, I guess you all will be able to eat it.
Okay, then. That's all I need. That's all I was trying to find
we're
out.
We're gonna give you a blind with the food you cooked for the show that's gonna air tonight.
Yeah.
Because that's probably already gone. When do you do the cooking anyway? You cook on a Monday for Tuesday or
No,
you just-
I'm going to cook on a Tuesday for Tuesday.
That's
Okay,
right.
so
fresh
we're
food.
You're going to have fresh
we're
food.
eating every Tuesday.
Karen Kitchen is all about freshness.
Okay.
That's right.
So
All right.
that means, see, her show airs right after our show. Let's talk, like
Yes.
Sharon mentioned. So we done at 7. So Karen pre-recorded show will come on at 7.
Yes.
So while you're watching her cooking, me and Cheryl will be eating the food,
Yes.
and we'll come and let y'all know how good it was last
Yes.
week. So that's exactly how it'll be. So
Yes, sir.
I want you to stick around.
Yes.
Stick around
Make
so you
sure
can
stick
see
around.
this Bahamian cuisine and those persons who are, even if you're not from the Bahamas and you're watching and you want to know how to cook Bahamian dishes, stick around and watch Karen every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Like and subscribe as well. We're inviting you to like and subscribe.
and
Cooking
share.
with Karen.
Yeah, make
And
sure share it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And what I was going to say, Cheryl, and just thinking about this food, just knock all that out of my head. Right?
You did say we'll be eating.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, it'll come back
And-
to me.
okay.
They say
Maybe
old
about the
people
lunch,
issues.
12 to 3
Yeah.
every day, right? 12 to 3 every day.
Yes,
you're
it's
at-
every day.
Okay.
By
No, we are off on Mondays.
Off on
But
Mondays?
from
You can't be
Tuesday to
off on
Friday.
Mondays. All the other restaurants are closed on Mondays. Is this a Bahamian thing?
it's a holiday.
A lot of restaurants are closed on Mondays around Grand Bahama.
And why you think it's so? Why you think?
I think maybe everybody cook on Sunday and they carry lunch
She
to
got
work.
it.
Is that it?
She got it. She
You
got
hit
it.
it right on the
Not
nose.
everybody's system. Anyway,
Oh, I know what I'm going to say. For those who struggle also cooking with, trying to cook Bahamian dishes, because a lot of people out there can't cook. They think they could cook. So guess what? Watch your show and then you can find out if you're doing it right. All right? So you get your free pointers.
yes.
So that's what I'm going to say.
Maybe she can do a live audience at one time when you cook in front of people, and then
Yeah.
we could come and
Yeah, we could
be
do
in
that.
tasting and yes.
Yeah. Cheryl, I like how you
And-
take
and-
We'll get to that. We'll get
And
to
one
that.
of these days, I am going to compete against Karen, and I'm going to cook the same thing and compete against her and invite Jason to taste
Oh,
mine
yeah.
and
Oh,
Karen's
yeah.
food to see
Yes,
which one
yes,
tastes
I will.
better. Yes.
I'll be
Let me
willing. I
save
can
money
eat.
so I can
Cheryl
pay
sound like
Jason.
you could cook.
She thinks she is. Make sure.
I won't starve to death. Let's just put it that way.
So, Karen, we thank you for joining the family.
Thank
and
you,
we
too.
guys, we
Yes.
hope you also give her the
Yes.
same support you'll give us and even more. You know, stick around for the show and like, subscribe, share.
Yes, I'm checking
Cooking
it out
with
tomorrow.
Karen. And then support her
Yes.
on Queens Highway.
Yes.
The GB Muffler.
Right on the side of GB Muffalo.
Right on the side of GB Muffler, where opposite the Old Kent Motors.
Yes.
That's where she's located. Like
Okay.
I say, she sells out pretty quick. Check her out.
To 3.
Give her your
All right.
support.
I'll be there.
So Cheryl, okay, now we ain't gonna put our guests on the spot. We don't do that to our guests. So me and Cheryl is just finished take this
Yes.
over. So It's about time to wrap up now, guys. We've been glad to have you all with us. So Cheryl will give her closing remarks. She's an effective communicator.
Yes. No, I just want to say that, communication, like Jason started off by saying, it is key. And it's the foundation of all relationships. And for relationships to continue, then we must have effective communication. And so I would like to encourage men to talk a little more, open up a little more. And I know once you understand the females, because I think men only don't open up to females. They will yap to their boys, yap at work, yap at the sports bars and lounges. And when they come home, but women, we have to take responsibility for some of that as well. Men are saying that we don't listen as often as we should, and then we weaponize what they share with us. So we have to work on that as well, so that we can communicate effectively with our partners and enrich our relationships.
Most definitely. I like how Cheryl put that all that synopsis she just gave us. She's a smart woman sometimes, because men, we do talk a lot with our friends and around our buddies and that, because we shoot straight and we can handle that. We ain't got to cut through the emotions. But we got to take some responsibility. We know, me saying that, knowing that woman is emotional, that means I now got to tailor my conversation to speak to the females, because we want effective communication. Mm-hmm. I want her to hear me. So therefore, I have to learn how to speak to her so that she can hear me.
Right.
And females, responsibility is also on y'all. Y'all want to be heard.
Yeah.
So y'all got to learn to listen when we speak and stop making it about you. If your man wants to express how he feels, hey, take it for what he's saying. Mm-hmm. Don't branch off to other communications and try and make it all about you, or try to weaponize it or turn it into an argument to deflect. Mm-hmm. Listen to exactly what he's saying and take words at face value. And if it isn't what he's saying, then blame it on him. You tell him, hey, you say this is what you wanted. You said this is what you're complaining about. Mm-hmm. And if he didn't communicate it effectively, then it's on him. Use his words against him. And that's how men understand. And for the younger among us, let's stop with the playing games. Let's stop with he should know. Let's stop with she should know what I like from what I like. Let's use our words. Words have meaning. Mm-hmm. Let's speak what we want. Let's say what we want. Let's say what we really want. And as Cheryl and the caller said, as you get older and you go further into the relationship, then you could go to the non-communicable, the non-verbal, because now you could read body languages and you know what nothing means when she says nothing. But until then, you ain't reached there yet. Use your big people words, your adults. Let's act like adults. So we want to enrich our relationships. We want the relationships to last. So let's use our words. Let's be effective communicators.
Yes.
So this has been Let's Talk.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Stick around.
Yes.
For Cooking with Karen. Thanks again for joining us.